Hello, hello. All right, can you guys hear me? Cool. How many people from the cohort? Good number. How many from general YouTube, Honeydex devs community? Decent. Very good. Okay. Talk mostly centered around engineers, young engineers who feel sort of stuck in their pay band, jahan pe aap ho, and how you can leverage Solana. Solana is investing heavily in India. I don't know if you guys remember / know, but my biggest break also was in a Solana company around 2 years ago. It's not too hard to get into these companies. There's a sort of framework you can follow. I'm going to talk about that framework. I'm calling it the growth mindset. That's the talk for today. It works. So what I'm going to divide this into two parts: graphs and vectors. So what do I mean when I say graphs and vectors? Do I mean a session by PW, Alak sir? No. Do I mean a quant who's building a lot of graphs and making a lot of money? How many of you are into quants or feel like I want to be a quant at Jane Street or I don't know, Jump or a Citadel? No? Okay, not a lot of people. Cool. This isn't that either. It's not neural networks or transformers. By graphs and vectors, I mean graphs are generally dumb, and growth vectors is what you should be looking for. A dumb graph is one like this that works very well on YouTube, which is sort of complacent and then goes up like this. And growth vectors that I'm going to talk about today are niche companies. AI transformers is the probably biggest niche that if you get into right now. As an engineer, you can leverage it a lot and make some money. Same is true for Solana, DeFi, Deepin. Solana in India, generally from what I've seen in the past 3 years, easy to get grants, hard to build a company, and again hard to have an employee mindset and join a company. But I would urge you guys to think of that as well. If you join a Solana company outside India, they pay fairly well, and if you're thinking of risking it to do a startup, sometimes the upside might be more if you join a company and take equity there, and of course your comp package is sorted. Okay. 4 parts mein we'll divide it. First part is slow growth, which is something that's very missing in this industry right now. There's a lot of what do you call it? Everyone wants to be rich on day one. So we'll talk about why in computer science, unfortunately, it takes some years to reach a place, the top of the pyramid, which is probably where you want to be. And it isn't something that happens in 2 days or 5 days, a month or even 6 months. It takes a long time. So this is the time that you should decide if you want to get into CS or not. But if that is the case, then it will take some time to grow here substantially. Number 2, lonely at the top. Not a lot of people reach. By the top, I just mean staff engineers, principal engineers, CTOs. A lot of people plateau at terminal levels, like an L4 or an L5 at Google. If you look at my batch of computer science 2018, 70 people from an IIT, around 40 are in Google or a Facebook or a Meta. Google or a Facebook or an Amazon. And amongst the 40, probably 35 have plateaued at a terminal level. What is a terminal level? It's basically you don't get fired anymore. You don't get promoted either. So that is sort of a easily reachable stage if you stay here, especially if you're from a good college. Even if you're not from a good college, if you stay in this industry for a while, you reach terminal velocity or terminal level, not too in an easy-ish fashion. It gets harder to reach the top. Third part is going to be about failing fast, and the last part is going to be about how you can use Solana and leverage the Solana ecosystem. They're investing a little too much in India. Like sometimes I'm surprised the kind of grants that are given out for projects. For example, there's this YouTube video that I made. Someone cloned it end to end and got a $3,000 grant, which was very surprising for me. There was no difference between the YouTube video output and his output. So, it's very easy to get that initial thingy that gets you in the door. That happened for me as well. Firstly, I got a grant from Super Team back in 2021 for $4,000. Then I saw, Backpack was raised, they became open source. I looked at their code base, contributed and got in. So, being in the community helps a lot. A bounty is an initial foot in the door. Don't think of that as your salary or, as something that's very big. It's like Super Team gives out a lot of generous bounties. You should take those bounties, but at the same time, figure out either how to build a business here or join a company as an employee. Oh wow, we're short on time. First part, slow growth. So yeah, again a dumb graph here, but for those of you who might have heard, the learning curve in Rust is really steep. But once you learn it, the time it takes for you to build the project in the future goes down. That doesn't happen in JavaScript or generally loosely typed languages. That's what you should aim to do. With AI, the interest in CS seems to be diminishing. A lot of people want to understand, aise karke ye ban gaya, waise karke wo ban gaya. You should go one level deeper. If you look at quants or people who make a lot of money are people who understand what is happening at the lowest level, how they can speed up the C process or the Zig process. So I would urge you to do that, especially in early years. Number 2, we did a poll and I was just trying to understand what's happening in colleges. Why are people scared, anxious and not getting a job? And the answer was 1, market, 2, college is really bad. But 3 was, they sort of admitted that we are also not putting in the efforts. कि कहीं से कुछ अच्छा नहीं दिख रहा है तो हम भी मेहनत नहीं कर रहे हैं. I would urge you to not do that. That's like 80% is a pretty substantial number when it comes to that. And people overestimate what they can do in a day, underestimate what they can do in a year. Slow growth में ऐसा होता है कि you probably are thinking कि यार being a principal at Google is so hard, or being a CTO in a Solana company is so hard, but it's pretty doable in 10 years. But you want to be a CTO tomorrow, that's where the problem might lie. You know, start as an early engineer internship and then slowly grow. Cool. Second part, lonely at the top. So this is what the general pyramid looks like. And a lot of people are engineers today. Every other person in India is doing a BTech, and most of them in CS or AI, ML, something like that. The lowest stage of the pyramid is people either looking out, which means they don't have a job, or they got the most entry-level job, which thankfully companies in India right now bulk hire for. 3 LPA, 4 LPA, TCS, Accenture, you already know. This is the sort of scariest part where you should not be complacent at all. Uske upar aata hai entry level, you got into Google, early engineer at Solana, or in a company over here, AI Web3 startup, raise a pay, whatever. This is a decentish stage because you're making decent money. You'll probably move to Bangalore or Hyderabad or Delhi. So you are in the industry, you have your foot in the door, which a lot of people below don't. I think at every stage, 10% बच्चा ही जा पाता है आगे. So if there is 100 people competing at the lowest level, only 10 reach the next one, 1 reach the next one, 0.1 reaches the top stage. So the top is basically, you can just look at these people and tell. Sheikh, for example, I would call, at the top of this pyramid. There's a guy called Nikhil. I don't know if he has a talk. I don't know if he's here right now, who works at 𝗜𝗺𝗫. He's a principal at 𝗜𝗺𝗫. If you talk to him, you'll understand, their core CS intellect is very high. And of course, they've been doing this for 10 years now, which also helps. So सबसे नीचे, anxiety inducing hai, but वही worst place where you can be complacent. Network community. I think a lot of people know कि क्या करना है, but वो करने का मन नहीं करता. तो for that, find 3 friends who are also into it, and find that community. It's easiest to grow through that. अकेले तो नहीं हो पाता. That's been a learning for me as well. At the second level, honestly, it doesn't matter if you want to chill, you can chill. The good thing about tech is, you can always chill at a Google or Facebook and reach terminal level. That's the level above it, कि अब तो 4 साल हो गए, 5 साल हो गए, Google पे L4, L5, L6, and this is where you'll stay for long. And this is a great outcome because you retire with a lot of money, Google stock grows, so on and so forth. Very risk-free bet to take if you can reach this level. And the last one is what I would urge you to optimize for, people like Sheikh. So, usually you'll find these people as CTOs in a DeFi company because DeFi is doing really well. Abhi, at least in blockchains, quants, researchers, principal engineers, DevOps guys, so on and so forth. ठीक है जी. That's the second part, lonely at the top. I'm down to 2 minutes. Third is fail fast. Very famous quote, I think it should hit you ekdam se, कि if you knew you were going to succeed the 100th time, how quickly would you fail? If you know कि 99 बार fail करने के बाद there is success at the end, then you would just optimize for failing fast, right? So fail fast, which basically means, apply for that internship, even if it's paying less, go there. If it doesn't work out, leave. Build that project. No one uses it, it's fine, you learn something. Karte, eventually, you'll reach one of these stages on the pyramid, and, once you reach, सबसे नीचे, it's the most difficult part is reaching that entry level stage, which is, this one right here. इसके बाद थोड़ा बंदे पे depend कर जाता है. A lot of people like it here, a lot of people are, want to do more or are more interested in CS. So if you're at the lowest, how many people are in the, एकदम honestly बताओ, lowest level अभी के हाँ थोड़ी हालत खराब हो रही है. Honestly बता दो. Smart group then. How many in the ऊपर वाला group? तो सब top पे हैं क्या? Very nice. On top. ठीक है जी. Fail fast. If you know you are going to succeed the 100th time, then fail as quickly as possible. Learn to code, take iterations. Takes iterations. You can't learn everything in one day. Go through code bases, struggle through them, check them out after a month. तो ये इसको this is tokenized as the blind coding framework. कि देख के you can code. But if I tell you to code the same thing again, a lot of times people are not able to do it. People are missing out on muscle memory in coding, probably because AI is here, वो कर देता है. So they can build a lot, but they can't really hold up a conversation, which is exactly what will happen in an interview. So when you're sitting in an interview, they're going to ask you core internals, and they're going to make you code, which will not happen if you're just using AI. Go a level deeper. Code through iterations, code yourself at least in your learning stage. And lastly, leverage the Solana ecosystem. As I said, a lot of people have gotten bounties. In our cohort, I think 50 teams got the initial bounty. I met a few of you here. I don't know how many of you have gotten like $2,000, $3,000 bounties. It's a great way to step in the door. Tell your parents कि जो TCS में मिल रहा था वो तो अभी ही मिल गया है. Let me explore for 6 months. And Solana has a lot of opportunities. You'll find a very obvious statement कि company को engineer नहीं मिल रहा है और engineer को company नहीं मिल रही है. That's because skill level match नहीं हो पाता अभी. तो once you reach that skill level, it's very easy to negotiate. I'm short on time here. A short example, कि $1,000 bounty I announced on a video which has 1.5K views, in which 8 submissions were made, and 7 of them are random links of some someone's Twitter, someone's GitHub of a random project. Only one project is actually what was asked. So we are willing to give money. People want to make money. It's out there on YouTube. The project is right there. It's not too difficult if you know mobile development. But still, just one submission. That's exactly what happens in jobs as well. Okay, people want good engineers. Engineers want job, but वो good वाला level नहीं पहुंच पाता है. So try to aim for that. It's very lonely at the top. A few repositories that have taught me well about Solana. I'll talk more about my Solana journey in my workshop जो भी हो रही है इसके बाद. I'll take you through what I coded for 1-2 years when I was at Backpack. But these are good repos that I would urge you to look at. एकदम से समझ नहीं आएंगी, नीचे वाली शायद आ जाएं because they're in TypeScript. All of the rest are in Rust. So try to dive through them. The third one is pretty interesting, especially if you want to get into, become a program engineer or a smart contract engineer. Is that it? That's it. And I'm done with the time. Thank you, everyone.